after 12 straight home playoff games. The Liberty games just once this season. It came way back at the beginning of the year. Here's Ionescu. Ionescu in the lane, kicks it out. Laney Hamilton can't hit the three. Jones the offensive rebound. Another chance here for New York. Jones got to get out of that lane. Crowd wanted a 3 seconds. They didn't get it. Laney Hamilton can't hit the follow-away.
First possession for New York. Brianna Stewart initiates the offense. They run Sabrina Ionescu off screen. She gets good penetration into the paint, made the right decision.
Sandy Brondello told us they may have to put the ball in Brianna Stewart's hands a little more here in Game 4. Young gets free and connects.
One thing you'll notice that was different on that defensive possession. Brianna Stewart defending Kelsey Plum. That has not been her primary assignment this series yet.
And you had Ionescu on Alicia Clark. Here's Phooj with size. They swing it around. Jones can't hit the three. Wilson the rebound. Wilson tearing down the floor to the cup. Couldn't finish.
Both of these teams would like to play with a lot of pace. Not too fast when they get in the quarter court, but with pace.
Sandy Brondello said, we want to play with pace, but we also have to be smart. And in Game 3, we did not hunt when Vegas was back on defense. Stewart, tough shot, and still drops it in.
Really good big-to-big screen on that one. The on-ball screen. Jonquel Jones, the screen and roll.
First points of the game for New York. Young, not that time.
And again, we're seeing Brianna Stewart initiate the offense. This worked well in Game 2 for the New York Liberty.
Here's Stewart. Off to Jones. Big-to-big screen again. Jones working Clark, taking it in on her for the bucket and the foul. Jonquel Jones, a chance for three.
The big
5-3 lead for New York. Early minutes of Game 4. Vegas facing elimination. Young. Off to Gray. Guarded by Phooj. Gray, what a whip inside. Clark couldn't finish the leg. Stewart, off to Ionescu. Extra feed. Laney Hamilton dumps it down, and Jones can reverse it in. Gets it back. Gets stripped. Loose ball. Stewart has it. And it's out of bounds. Stays here with New York.
Her defender deep inside and getting good catches. Oh, it's loud in here.
Extraordinarily loud. And a foul here on Young. Jackie Young picks up her first. Alicia great in Game 3 after it was atrocious in Games 1 and 2. Phooj back to Ionescu in the corner. She got it on a three. An 8-0 Liberty run, and Ionescu, who did not score until the fourth quarter of Game 3, drains a three in her 20th straight playoff game here in the first quarter of Game 4. Gray lost it, and they call a foul on Laney Hamilton.
And if JJ doesn't get the ball, she has to roll hard and fast.
Wilson nearly lost it. Gray a deep three. Off the mark. Good box out from Ionescu. And Stewart guides the rebound. Here's Jones. Guarded by Wilson. Jones backing her down into the lane. Squirts it out to Stewart. 10 to shoot. Stewart looking to take it to Jackie Young. The lefty lay is good. What a take from Brianna Stewart, and a 10-0 New York run will trigger a Vegas timeout.
Tough take by Brianna Stewart. She gets the switch.
She said, I want high ball screens. I want to be able to get downhill and create some mismatches. And if she couldn't get shots, to be an effective, aggressive passer. But guys, when I asked her how she felt this morning, steady, just like Sabrina. But she did say she's excited for a day game.
A day game that New York's off to a good start on. Thank you very much, Brooke. As Ionescu comes back for the rebound. Sabrina Ionescu struggled with that pressure in Game 3. But New York operating well at the start of Game 4 like that. Stewart three.
Really handled well by Sabrina Ionescu. A little bit of a retreat and then able to get around and get the ball to an open Stewie.
Young left alone, misses the banker. 7 straight misses from Vegas after Young hit the first shot they took. Here's Jones, creeping down, fading away, can't bank it in. Lawm swivels into the paint, gets fouled by Jonquel Jones. Let's take a listen in to sounds of the game. Well, one of the things that Sandy Brondello talked to us about, she said, watching the film from Game 3, we just didn't compete. We didn't use any physicality. We knew they were going to play better, but we didn't do anything to exert ourselves. Clearly, at the start of this game, a much better level of physicality for New York.
Without question. The one player who's going to have to be careful now, though, is Jonquel Jones. We just saw her pick up her first foul. She got into foul trouble, and it affected her in Game 3.
And it affected the Liberty as well with her off the floor. Here is Jones off the delivery from Stewart, and Wilson the rejection. The two-time Defensive Player of the Year with the block. Here's Clark, a three, no. And Stewart and Ionescu team up and can't handle it. She said Asia's blocks at home feel like dunks. They're momentum plays that you can really feel in the crowd as Young misses the layup. Knocked out of bounds by Stewart off a
Has had so far.
They won the battle of the paint in Game 3.
They're getting really good looks inside.
And they've missed 9 straight shots. Here's Wilson fading away, 10 straight shots. And again, New York unable to secure the defensive. Thornton, the first reserve in off the bench for New York today, electing to go big and physical rather than with Vandersloot as Wilson gives the Aces their first field goal in 5 minutes.
We saw that in Game 3 as well, an under out of bounds where there was miscommunication from the Liberty defense and Vegas getting a relatively good look.
10-7, New York leads it. Stewart left alone, doesn't take. Ionescu into the lane, flips it in, plus the foul. Sabrina Ionescu a chance for 3. Register any field goal attempts from Ionescu in Game 3. Other defenders spending more time on her. And right away, Hayes picks up a foul with Ionescu completing the three-point play. Much better start to Game 4 for Sabrina Ionescu, who had been terrific through the first 4 games of these playoffs. Hayes cuts in and drops it home. Nice take from the veteran Tiffany Hayes.
She saw the shot clock running down, just assessed the floor, and she's been doing that for a lot of years, using that quick first step to get by the defender.
The 6th player of the year who came out of retirement for the Aces. Ionescu gets a step and cans the 3.
A rare time where A'ja Wilson was in drop coverage, and so there was no one there to contest Sabrina Ionescu.
How about the bounce back from Ionescu? 9 points on 3 of 3 shooting. Plum loses it, gets it back, and gets fouled as Phoebish took a shot to the face, but the foul is called on New York. It'll be on Ionescu. Now we have saib rules as well for our defense. As Plum hits the first, taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. 2 possible Game 5s this Tuesday on ESPN2 if necessary. Aces Liberty, Sun Lynx. For more on these games, go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. No matter what, the finals will start Thursday night on ESPN. Here's Ionescu.
You see the pressure that Tiffany Hayes was applying. Full court.
Ionescu, you bet! Her 3rd 3 of the first quarter.
And of course now New York knows what to expect in terms of that pressure. Ionescu gets rid of it. They set a screen, gets it right back.
Ionescu with 12 first quarter points. Game 3 to bounce back like this at the start of Game 4. Oh, what a dime. Gray into Wilson, who can't bank it home. Great contest from Stewart.
Not only the contest, but then to be able to also go up and corral the defensive board. That's tough.
Here's Ionescu. Ionescu with Hayes on her. Around the Stewart screen, lost the handle. Plum pedaling it forward, lays it in. New York quickly into the front court. Phooj attacking Plum and lays it home. The smooth game of Leonie Phooj.
As you see, both teams looking to push pace, attack the bucket when they can.
21-13, New York in front. Gray dumps it down. Wilson gets the whistle. Plus the foul. Number 2 on Phooj. And Wilson a chance for 3.
A'ja Wilson just posts deep and low, calls for the basketball, and then when she gets it, does not get sped up.
Who has had the best plus-minus of any player in these playoffs. She goes to the bench. Kennedy Burt in for New York.
You see, instead of making Sabrina just battle the pressure, give the ball to Brianna Stewart, let her initiate.
Gray comes up with the interception. Here's Gray through the lane. Flicks it out. Hayes. No. Coming on a minute to go in the first quarter of Game 4. New York a 2-1 series lead in these best-of-5 semis. Stewart gives it up. Lainey Hamilton attacking Plum. Burke couldn't handle it.
Was the amount of turnovers Vegas had, in particular 8 in the second quarter alone, a team that typically takes very good care of the basketball.
2-for-1 opportunity for the Aces. Hayes looking to attack Vandersloot. And does! Plus the foul! Tiffany Hayes a chance for 3.
Simple guard to guard.
And a nice response from Vegas. As Hayes hits the free throw. New York is led by as many as 8. Here's Stewart. New York going for the 2-for-1. Stewart can't bank it in. Tips it home, though. What a hop from Brianna Stewart. Some pressure applied full court here from New York. Stewart with 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in this first quarter. Got a 6-second difference, game and shot clock. Hayes to the corner, Colson a 3. Rims out. Rebounds, scatters over to Thornton. 4 seconds left. Kennedy Burt to the rim, gets denied. What a rejection, Tiffany Hayes. But a foul. A foul is called, or is it?
So it gives us a little bit of an advantage there. So we're trying to put that in as much as we can, and we'll keep going to it, and hopefully it's going to be successful for us.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Start of the second quarter, Game 4, 2-1 lead for New York is Gray. Rains in a 3.
So much credit to Tiffany Hayes for getting the dribble penetration and then recognizing Gray was the player who was open.
Stewart wide open, connects on a 3. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for the 2-time MVP Brianna Stewart. Here's Plum in the corner. Back to Gray. Off to the 3-time MVP Wilson. Good movement here from Vegas. Plum, she got it. What a pretty possession from the defending champs. And a foul here on Colson, trying to hang with laying fast, but also being able to locate mismatches. A'ja Wilson gets a breather, something she did not get in the first half of Game 3. Here's Vandersloot diving inside and gets the whistle on Plum. Kelsey Plum upset with the call. Her first, team second in the second.
Courtney Vandersloot. Since Game 3 was played.
Keep up the playoff intensity in the WNBA app. Stay locked in with the latest scores, real-time highlights, on-court analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories all in one place. The QR code now to download the WNBA app today. Right, quick turnaround. And Becky Hammond even pointed out to us, she said, in Game 3, something very rare happened. Jackie Young asked for a sub. So Jackie almost never asked for a sub. Becky took it as a great sign because that's the kind of exertion Jackie and her team was playing with on both ends of the floor. But obviously, you play with that kind of force, and you turn around as quickly as this, it can take a toll. A night game Thursday, a day game, noon local here. Excuse me, Friday, and noon local Sunday. Sometimes the days of the week in Vegas, they get a little lost, don't they? Colson in the corner, airmails it, and Phooj, the rebound, back in with 2 fouls. Ionescu back in as well. Brianna Stewart gets a break for New York. Vandersloot cuts in, can't plop it home, and then a foul on Vandersloot. Her second. 2. Oh my goodness, what a pass! Gustafson lays it in. Chelsea Gray with a simply ridiculous dish.
The hard hedge came. Chelsea Gray has seen that many times through her career and dished it beautifully.
Yes.
Chelsea Gray, who was banged up for much of this season, looking like her healthy self again in these playoffs. Here's Jones, charging inside for the easy lay. Plum gives it up to Young. Gray gets a clean look. No, Phooj the rebound. New York dodges a bullet there as Ionescu was trying to hang with 2 on the perimeter. Here's Stewart back in after a brief breather. Wilson remains on the bench for Vegas. Vander dumps it down, just too tall, out of bounds. We see post entries.
Yes, well, you see the mismatch, and you get so eager to get the ball in. Sometimes you have to settle in because there is a help side defender coming.
Young cradles it over to Gray, behind the back to Clark. Chelsea Gray just out here having fun. Plum, 1 to shoot. Push shot won't go. Jonquel Jones the rebound, her 5th already. New York dominating the glass, a +9 in this first half.
Big to big screen high again.
Stewart sheds and lays, plus the foul. A champ. Those 2 won a couple of championships together in Seattle. Alicia Clark held Stewart to 1 of 7 shooting in Game 4 of the finals last year. The Aces clincher. But Stewart has had much more success against Clark in this series. Young, short, long rebound, Lainey Hamilton. Here's Ionescu. Off to Stewart. And back in for the Aces. Phooj, mid-range jumper is off. Wilson, her 5th rebound to go with 5 points in this first half, and Wilson now brings it up the floor. Young gets blocked by Stewart. Stewart off and running. Ionescu gets it to her. Phooj, extra feed, knocked away by Gray. Phooj will take, and hit from 3. How about the confidence for Leonie Phooj and an 8-0 New York run? Phooj gets over the screen. Remember, she's playing with 2 fouls. Wilson the spin, Ionescu the deflection. And Stewart's fouled by Gustafson.
Great help side defense by Sabrina Ionescu there to save what would have been a layup by A'ja Wilson.
300 career playoff assists. So Stewart, a rare miss like that at the line as we check in with Brooke.
Well, Chelsea Gray told me today that the component of a team with championship DNA is the ability to bounce back with few words when things don't go right. So the Aces didn't need to say much Friday night, and you can see that edge is carried into this same game today. Chelsea Gray being very vocal in the huddle and on the floor. And, of course, Becky Hammond told us that Gray, she's just a different vibe.
Thank you very much, Brooke, as Clark and Stewart get locked up. And are they going to call the foul? Phooj to the bench. Kayla Thornton into the game. That's a big 3rd foul. Can Vegas take advantage? Gray reverses. Wilson will fire short. And Stewart, who has been fantastic here in Game 4 with her 6th rebound.
Really good and quick ball movement by the Vegas Aces, but equally good quickness by the New York Liberty defense.
Jonquel Jones trying to save it. thought she was fouled. It was not called. And now Sandy Brondello and Jonquel Jones get tripped up as Chelsea Gray lays it in. The officials will... Sandy got up nicely from that, though, as Ionescu throws it right to Wilson. Opportunity for Vegas. Plum gives it up. Wilson extra feed. Good recovery from New York. Gray twisting, taking, no. Clark the rebound, the shovel. Wilson flips it in. Timeout, New York. For Seattle to still win the series. Lady Hamilton off to Ionescu. Lady Hamilton on the move inside of Young, lays it in. That's a strong take from Bonija Lady Hamilton.
And you see how far out she has to reach to get that finish over A'ja Wilson's outstretched hand.
Phooj on the bench right now with 3 fouls as Clark lays it in. Great delivery from Wilson. New York in this game a -8 with Phooj on the bench, a +14 with her on the floor. Ionescu gets denied by Wilson.
That was what Becky Hammon told us in this energized crowd here.
Stewart wants it, has Plum on her. Ionescu can't get it to her. Now shovels to Laney Hamilton. Her jumper won't go. Plum the rebound.
Stewie wanted the ball to go up top to Jonquel Jones so that she could deliver it in the high-low.
Wilson spinning. Wilson gets the whistle. And that will be number 2 on Jonquel Jones.
In a position to get clean looks night after night.
A historic season from A'ja Wilson, winning her 3rd MVP. Unanimous, just the 2nd unanimous MVP winner in league history. Cynthia Cooper the other. Wilson set the league record for most points per game. Became the first player to ever lead the league in total points, total rebounds, and total blocks. And yeah, she's got some cool merch as well.
Yes.
Stewart coming back to the ball. Off to Ionescu. Plum all over. 4 to shoot. Ionescu's runner, no good. Thornton the offensive rebound. Can't finish in a crowd and a tie-up. Clark and Thornton will jump it up.
Serenity has to work.
Clark wins the tip. Here comes Wilson. New York has struggled since Phooj went to the bench with her 3rd foul. Gray off to Clark. Young, just 1 of 7 from the floor in this first half. Dangerous pass there, and they're going to call a foul. If it's Jones, it's her 3rd, and it is. Number 3 on Jonquel Jones.
A'ja does a good job of stepping in and sealing.
2 fouls. That's an easy call to see. So now Jones and Phooj.
That wasn't particularly smart.
Can Vegas take advantage? Looking to force a game 5 Tuesday. Plum wiggles, takes, and hits. The New York lead has been shaved down to 2. Plum up to 12. Stewart surrounded, no call. Ionescu, great look. Thornton a wide open 3. Back iron it off. Clark the rebound. Plum the flip inside and a foul called. Again, 8 to go left in this quarter now, but any second guessing that decision from New York with Phooj, knowing how much this game has turned.
Well, I think you have to remember that Leonie Phooj, as a rookie, early in this season, her biggest issue was getting into foul trouble and trying to stay on the floor and work through that. She has gotten much better, but there might...
14 in this game. So you do the math. Vegas has outscored New York by 13 in the limited minutes Phooj has been on the bench. Here's Stewart, 1-point game, 7-0 Vegas run. Stewart, difficult shot, can't get it to go. Gray, off to Plum, wide open. Back iron, no. Another chance for Vegas. Knocked away by Ionescu, she comes over to steal. Running with Lainey Hamilton, and Lainey Hamilton unable to finish the layup. Stewart's tip is good.
Lainey Hamilton looked like she didn't get the lift that she normally would when she went up with the shot.
She's been laboring in these playoffs after having knee surgery in July. Really can only play in 4 to 5 minute spurts. 11-second difference, game and shot clock. Plum looking to take Vandersloot, the pirouette, missed the layup. Ionescu off the tip from Stewart. 8 seconds left in the half. Ionescu, the crossover, the give, Vandersloot, the drive, Stewart, the runner, won't go. And Brianna Wilson on the attack, cutting through and banking it home.
Smart. Get A'ja Wilson going to her strong left hand, attacking Jonquel Jones, who you mentioned has the 3 fouls.
Jones not picked up and drains the 3. 8 points now for Jones. Becky Hammond talked about the glass. New York a +11 rebounding advantage. Wilson dishes out. Clark's 3, missed it. And Lainey Hamilton the board. Ionescu had 12 in the first, did not score in the second. Jones on the move, inside, whips it out of bounds. And that's what you're talking about, Rebecca,
Free, like we saw JJ the prior possession.
11 points for Wilson, 5 rebounds. Here's Wilson back to work. That's too easy. A'ja Wilson just cutting right to the cup.
Alicia Clark set a little screen, and there was no resistance from the New York defense.
Here's Stewart, guarded by Clark. Trying to back her down. Clark did a nice job hanging there. Ionescu backs away, dumps it in, look out. Knocked away, a steal from Gray. Here's Plum. Wilson back to work. A'ja Wilson can't finish it. Already 2 turnovers in the quarter for New York. Lainey Hamilton barges in. Lost it. Stewart has it. And drains the free throw jumper. Brianna Stewart, 17 points, 10 rebounds on 7 of 12 shooting. And if you're Jonquel Jones, you just can't do that when you have 3. So Jones to the bench now with 4 personals. How does New York handle it? Kennedy Burke into the game. Kayla Thornton struggled in that first half as Wilson's pass just a little too tall for Alicia Clark. One of the points of emphasis Sandy Brondello brought up to us before the game was Jonquel Jones playing smartly, being aware of those fouls. Phooj dumps it down. Stewart off to Ionescu, a deep 3. It is good. Sabrina Ionescu, 4 for 4 from downtown in game 4. New York lead is 7. Liberty trying to punch their ticket to the finals today. Aces trying to force a game 5 Tuesday, and Chelsea Gray has been bringing the heat all afternoon. Ionescu, the crossover, defense collapses, and a charge is called as New York turns it over again. Second personal on the opponents to 26% shooting from the floor. For the playoffs, she's number 1 in that category at 29%. Here's Hayes. Over to Gray. Oh, Gray in her bag. Dumps it down, stolen by Stewart. Rare turnover for the Aces. Lainey Hamilton can't hit the 3. Burke the rebound, in some trouble, and Plum takes it away. 4th turnover of the quarter for New York. And just a give foul there from Burke. Short on a three. Burke, Laney Hamilton, Stewart, Phooj, and Ionescu are the five for New York. Clark, Wilson, Plum, Hayes, and Gray for Las Vegas. And that's going to be a foul on Plum. Liberty got to the bonus at the 5:15 mark of the second, but then did not get to the line after that. Ionescu through the lane, kicks it out. Burke can't hit the three. Stewart trying to keep it alive, but Clark did a nice job fending her off. Here's Hayes, loose handle, gets it back. Hayes dumps it, Wilson finishes.
Tiffany Hayes and Kelsey Plum both are so good. Dribble penetration, getting into the paint, and using the defensive rotation to create looks for their teammates.
15 points for A'ja Wilson. Plum hawking Ionescu. Ionescu is being fouled. Kelsey Plum fouling Ionescu on the ground before any jump ball. And that is going to be number 3 on Kelsey Plum, who was getting away with a lot of contact throughout the possession. Consistent, game in, game out, as Stewart gets fouled by Hayes. That'll be on the bench with 4 personals for New York. Here's Stewart off the catch, draws 2, great tie-up, perfectly timed by Chelsea Gray.
We've seen Gray do that multiple times through this series. She is just
a defender. Stewart tips it back to Ionescu. Ionescu backs it out beyond the arc, 7 to shoot. Off to Stewart. Stewart over Wilson. Oh my goodness! Bewitching the glass for 2. 19 points, 10 boards for Stewart. Oh, Wilson, nice look inside. And Hayes leaves it short. Here's Stewart, her 3, off the mark. Burke's tip won't go. Knocked out of bounds. They're going to call a loose ball foul on Phooj. And that'll be number 4. So 4 fouls on Phooj, 4 on Jones. How does New York handle it? Not very well at the end of the second quarter. Clark dishes out. And to shoot. Plum, guarded by Burke. Hayes in the corner. Short on a 3. Laney Hamilton the rebound. Ionescu left alone, way short. Burke again gets her hands on it, but unable to finish the tip. Here's Hayes, blasting to the cup, and gets fouled by Thornton. Free throws for the veteran Hayes.
Seen this
ESPN 2. If necessary. Aces Liberty, Connecticut, and Minnesota. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Game 4, Lynx Sun coming your way. 5 breather. Gustafson in for the Aces, along with Plum, Hayes, Wilson, and Young. The Liberty have Stewart, Ionescu, Burke, Thornton, and Laney Hamilton. Here's Stewart attacking Wilson. Great defense there from A'ja Wilson. 5 to shoot. Thornton's 3 off the mark. Aces down 4. Young leans in and gets the whistle. Jackie Young will shoot 2. Young misses the free throw. Aces 9 for 13 from the line now. Ionescu will get a breather. Vandersloot in. 2:43 to go in this third. New York a 51-47 lead. To fall behind 2-0 in a series and force a game 5. The Mercury the other back in 2018. No team has come back to win a best-of-5 series when falling behind 2-0. Stewart will fire. Around and off. Rebound Hayes. Vegas in the bonus here. 2.5 to go in the third. Gustafson's three. No. And Vandersloot the rebound.
Great box out by Laney Hamilton against Tiff Hayes.
Here's Stewart. Leaning jumper. Won't go. Stewart tips it alive. And Vandersloot. Courtney Vandersloot almost looked like she was going to let it go out of bounds for a moment and say a word that was 4 letters and then her name. It was like shirt. Here's Hayes. Deflected. Vandersloot going to keep this one in bounds. Has numbers. Stewart gets denied. Asia Wilson there. And then a foul on Stewart with New York over the limit. As Wilson hits the first.
They missed 7 free throws.
They're 11 for 16 in this game. New York leads by 2. Vandersloot in traffic, held up, and a travel. Here's Wilson giving it up. Gustafson travels herself as the Aces with a rare turnover. And the Aces trying to get to Tuesday. Laney Hamilton, 7 to shoot. Gives it up in the corner. Vandersloot short on a 3. Wilson gobbles up her 8th rebound. Aces down 2. Plum a 3. Short. Gustafson knocks it out of bounds. New York basketball with 40.7 remaining. It's a WNBA record. Vandersloot takes the jumper and hits. Also executes the 2-for-1.
Vegas goes behind screens with Courtney Vandersloot. She needs to have the confidence to step into those.
Hayes gets fouled by Burke. New York will be able to essentially hold for 1 as Hayes hits both. Ionescu back in for this final offensive possession. No free throws in the corner for New York. Here's Ionescu setting the screen. Vandersloot gets it back to her. Sabrina's 3 blocked. Stewart gets a hand on it, nothing more. Young's heave is good! Jackie Young from 50 sends game 4 to the 4th. Ionescu, Vandersloot, Phoebish, Jones, and Stewart for New York. Wilson, Young, Plum, Hayes, and Gray for Las Vegas. Here's Ionescu. Vandersloot trying to get it into Jones, cannot. Ionescu, 4 to shoot. Doesn't have much doing. Ionescu has to force it up. And a shot clock violation on the opening possession. Good defense there from Las Vegas.
New York was trying to look inside to get John Paul Jones the basketball, and Asia Wilson simply denied her. There was no avenue to pass the ball inside. It was stuck on the left side of the floor the whole possession. Great defense. That's what you want if you're Vegas.
Ionescu was 4 for 4 in the first quarter. Is 1 for 6 since. Here's Hayes, guarded by Stewart. Young cuts in, whips out. Gray missed it badly. Vegas has not led since it was 3-2 early in the first. Had some chances in the third and now in the fourth. Ionescu lays it in on another beautiful delivery from Phoebish.
Terrific back screen. The way Kelsey Plum is defending Sabrina Ionescu, they got her with the screen, and it led to the easy 2.
4-point New York lead. Hayes has it taken away by Vandersloot. Here comes New York with numbers. Stewart the dive and Phoebish the lay. Timeout Las Vegas. Good start to the fourth for New York. And these semis here today. Plum a three, missed it. Great look there for Plum, who still has not scored in the second half.
Same said as earlier when A'ja Wilson was able to come off and drive the lane. That time she made the right decision. Plum was open.
Phooj and Jones both with 4 fouls. Here's Ionescu. Finds Jones. Stagnant possession. 5 to shoot. Stewart might have to put it up. 2 to shoot. Stewart elevates. Can't hit. Rebound Wilson. By the way, Phooj is a plus 20 in 20 minutes in this game. Plum dances free and lays it in.
Plum is the player who never gets tired. Plays at such an accelerated pace.
Vandersloot with the answer.
And remember, blow-bys have at times been an Achilles heel for the Vegas Aces in this series.
Plum again gets fouled by Stewart. And right away, Breanna Stewart says, wait, we need to challenge that. The New York bench taking a look. And it's Vegas who wins possession. 7:25 to go, fourth quarter of game 4. New York a 6-point lead and a 2-1 series edge in this best-of-5 semifinals. Pass behind Young, back to Plum. Plum dives in and gets denied by Stewart. Kept it in bounds. By the way, it was ruled the ball was not imminently out of bounds. That's why they jumped it up after that successful challenge. Here's Stewart. Wide open three. In and out. She's had some good looks. End of third, beginning of fourth, they just haven't dropped. Gray, pitter, patter, no. Stewart wants it in the post on Clark. Off to Phooj. Back to Stewart. Good denial from Plum. Not allowing Ionescu a touch. Vandersloot surged it in with the left hand. Big buckets in the fourth from Courtney Vandersloot. 8-point New York lead. Young, mid-range, no.
It's only Jackie Young's first field goal attempt here in the second half.
She is 1 for 8.
She's not looked like herself.
After 24 in game 3. Ionescu wrapping through the lane, denied by Wilson. How about the shot blocking from A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart in this game? Ionescu gets free and connects from deep. Her 5th 3 of the day. With her viral sensation of a performance. Aces season on the line here with 5:40 to go in the fourth quarter of game 4. 7-0 New York run. Wilson out to Gray. Clark and Plum jumbled up in the corner. Here's Wilson trying to make something happen. Young can't hit the 3. Phooj the rebound. New York has got good minutes here with Vandersloot rather than Lainey Hamilton with the other 4 starters. Stewart gets fouled. Alicia Clark picks up her 3rd. And the first team foul on Vegas in this 4th. New York without a team foul thus far. Hayes, Plum, Gray, Wilson, and Clark on the floor for Las Vegas as Young takes a seat. Vandersloot kicks it out. Jones a 3. You bet! The lead is 14. A 10-0 New York run. And a foul here. Is it on Jones or Vandersloot? Jones stays on the floor with 5 fouls. Plum gets free. Her 3 off the mark. Rebound Clark, another chance for Las Vegas.
New York zoning up now on this possession. Way to try to protect the player in foul trouble.
Wow, Wilson somehow got back to that ball. Hayes can't hit, and a push off on Plum. Her fourth, New York ball. Vegas has had
their legs after the energy they were exerting in Game 3 from start to finish, both ends of the floor.
Aces just 1 of 11 from the floor in this quarter. They've missed their last 8 three-point attempts. Vandersloot needs some help. Jones deep inside. How about Chelsea Gray? Again. That's Lennox at home. 7 months old. Stewart with space. Short. Phooj back to the live, but just to Hayes. Stewart, 19 points, 12 rebounds, has gone cold from the floor of late, but playing a terrific all-around game. Stewart also 5 assists, 3 blocks to go with their 13 rebounds and 19 points. 3:45 to go in Game 4. Ionescu. Jones alone. Back iron, no. Phooj gets fouled. And Leone, you talk to any member of the Aces, and they glow about Leone Phooj. How impactful she is on both sides of the floor. Look at her plus-minus tonight. She's been #1 in that category throughout these playoffs.
And plays right decisions. Even that offensive board run, she was in that deep left corner and just hustled to get herself into the rim.
16-point New York lead, 12-0 run. Lawm finally gets one to drop from deep. Vegas had gone 4.5 minutes without a field goal. Lawm's first 3 since the first half. Ionescu draws a crowd. Ionescu. New York's lead is 13. Stewart elevates, can't hit. Wilson the rebound, still time for Vegas here. A little under 3 minutes to go. Phooj the steal, there she is, Leone Phooj to the cup.
This outstanding defense, active arms. She told us how she had a coach in youth basketball who insisted she keep her arms up on the defensive end, gets the huge play there.
A 6'4" guard who can defend 1-5. Stewart's fourth block. And New York starting to taste it. Reminder, Game 4, Minnesota, Connecticut, coming up 5 Eastern on ESPN. Phooj. Ionescu finds Phooj, extra feed, Jones connects! Barbecue sauce! Wilson banks in a 3 as Vegas looking to keep breathing in these final minutes. The lead is 15. Ionescu was just running clock, put it up on the window. Phooj nearly came up with another steal. 1:22 to go. Hayes, she got it! And now New York will take a timeout. 12-point New York presentation possible. Inbound to Clark. Here's Young, great ace from Becky Hammond. Stewart secures the under a minute to go. Vegas backs off. The New York Liberty on their way to the finals. So Ionescu will not take a shot with under 40 to go. A'ja Wilson's historic season, unlike any we have ever seen in this league's history. ends in Vegas. The three-time MVP with a year for the ages. So much respect for one another, hugging out. Rivalry, but true, genuine respect between these coaches and these players.